Hey, Steve.
Hey, Paul, long time.
Yeah, it has to be at least 10 minutes since we talked and recorded a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, this topic we wanted to get out to clients, make sure they're aware of, is just one more further discussion on the California pass-through entity elective tax under AB-150. It's got so many different names.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important for us. We went through that first year of the AB-150, and there was a lot of rushing that happened at the end of the year. And now we kind of put 2021 to bed for AB-150, and now we're kind of focusing more on the changes that are happening for 2022.
Yeah. And I think of the most important thing we want to make sure that we get out to clients right now. And actually, if I can back up, I mean, this AB-150 thing is complicated, but worthwhile in many, many cases. It's a significant tax savings, but each case seems to be unique. And I think today we want to give out some general information, but I want to stress that, this is something we should talk through as well.
Yeah.
But I think what we really wanted to get out today is that there's a June 15th deadline that's very important and mandatory, and missing it basically precludes you from even using AB-150 for 2022.
Yeah. So for 2021, they had to, if they wanted the deduction on their 2021 return, they had to pay by December 31st, and then the balance was owed by March 15th. If you didn't make that payment and you underpaid by March 15th, you were going to be subject to some penalties and interest. However, like going forward for 2022, you've got to pay in by June 15, 2022, the greater of $1,000 or 50% of your 2021 pass-through ND elective tax payment as shown on your 2021 return. So the greater of those two, 1,000 or 50% of whatever showed on your 2021 return.
Yeah. So in 2021, since it was new, since they passed it in September, there was no real prepayment requirement for 2021. We just got on the phone and had our clients prepay by December 31st so that they could get the 2021 deduction. But right, on the go-forward basis, the state of California wants their money prepaid. They don't, they want their tax, just like the IRS, they want their tax paid as you go, not at the end, because they want the return on that money. So now this prepayment requirement is June 15th for the first installment.
The funny thing I just thought of right now is that, the fact that they made it June 15th, they probably did it so it gets into the budget right before or end of June 30th.
Yeah, that's probably true. Oh man, we could have a little digression right here and talk about that budget and the $98 billion surplus, of which they're going to return $18 billion back to the taxpayers and retain the rest. But I won't go there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So what's important about this is if you don't make this payment, then you're out of luck for 2022. There's no late payment penalties. There's,
right,
there's no, the consequences of missing this, or, an interest charge or something like that. No, the consequences are you don't get to do this for 2022.
And you got to be accurate too. So, if your payment was supposed to be $15,000, you paid $14,000, you're out. You don't get to participate in the program for 2022.
Right. So if your entity filed its return by April 15th, then, or since then we know what that number is and we can be exact.
Right.
If it didn't, and you're going to need to estimate it, you're definitely better off overestimating than underestimating.
Yeah. If you didn't elect to be a part of it in 2021, you're just down $1,000 because it's the greater of $1,000 or whatever showed on your 2021 return, which would have been zero if you didn't participate in the plan in 2021. So that's easy. It's just people that have participated in 2021 that haven't filed their returns. That's where it gets a little difficult.
That's right. And just to be very clear, that $1,000 or the 50%, that is a credit on your tax return. That's not some kind of fee that doesn't go, it's not a tax. It is a credit that you're going to be able to claim on your return.
Yeah.
I guess technically it is a tax, but it is, you do get credit for that $1,000. And then I think the only other thing I would say is we were talking about being conservative and making sure you overpay it. If you're going to make an error at all, you overpay it. I think it's important to note that overpayments of the AB-150 amount can't be applied to the next year AB-150 tax. So if you believe you have an overpayment from 2021, that doesn't mean you can underpay 2022 by the amount of that anticipated underpayment. It means you're still going to need to pay that full amount and then get a refund of that amount from the 2021 return.
I mean, you can apply it to estimates like for the minimum tax, like the 1.5%, but yeah, you can't apply it to AB-150 amount.
Yeah. And I guess just a quick step back, this allows you to deduct the state tax at the entity level, which essentially gets you around the $10,000 limit. Of course, it's not worth doing this if this is under the $10,000 limit, if you're not getting any benefit from this. So, it's just important to make sure that all of those possible scenarios that you kind of think through before taking advantage of this.
Yeah. So I was going to say, you'll file this with a form 3893. I would recommend that you pay it online, just so you know that it's been filed by June 15th and you can prove it and you can log in and make that payment that way. We can provide you with instructions on how to pay it and where to pay it and the forms as well. So just contact us for that information.
Yeah. We'll be sending out a mass email to everybody that's got that information as well. All right, anything else? Just as we try and make sure our clients are aware of this June 15th deadline?
Well, I think the other thing to maybe mention is that the other 50% is due by March 15th of 2023. However, if you want the tax deduction for it, California or IRS has said, hey, you get the deduction based upon a cash basis when you pay that in. So if you would probably are going to want to pay the other 50% by December 31st.
Yep. All right, good.
Cool.
I think that's some good info, and give us a call if you have any other questions about this.